G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Monday the 18th of March 2019 and the time here is 0920 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well folks, plenty to go over with you guys. Just want to talk to you about Christchurch. That's about it really. So let's go to my kind sponsor, Totally Rawsome. These guys make golden activated turmeric paste. They also do it for pets. If you have any joint pain or any inflammation, get this stuff. It works. I spoke to them on the weekend as regards to something else, and they mentioned that they are now making choco balls, a new type of choco balls. And guys, look, honestly, if you haven't tried them, you've got to try them. They're definitely an adult taste though, because I tried them out with my kids, and all my kids went, they're all right, but I wouldn't eat them. But my wife and I really loved them. We thought they were fantastic. And they're bringing those out this week, I believe. So they'll have new styles of choco balls this week. Okay. One thing. They are my sponsor. They are not my management team. To the person who it was that rang them up and asked for direct contact with me, I'm sorry, but they are not going to give it to you. Please don't ever do that again. They are my sponsor, not my management team. You guys are all intelligent people. I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying here. Don't do that. That's not what this is about. If you want to talk to me, I will talk to you. Send me an email at prepaussie@protonmail.com. I usually respond, unless my computer's being hacked or my account's being hacked or whatever, okay? Don't contact Totally Rawsome to contact me. They won't do it. They were quite offended, actually, because it's a little bit backdoorish. Okay, let's talk about the huge elephant in the room, that being Christchurch. Now I'm going to say some things which are going to be probably controversial. None of the things I'm going to say are denigrating the Muslim people or anything like that. It's just the schematics and the schematics of it that I don't understand. If you're an American and you don't understand the relationship between Australia and New Zealand, then I'm going to try and explain it to you. Australia has a clause in our constitution, whereas we reclaim New Zealand as our own. In actual fact, we probably class New Zealand as being our own, but we haven't taken it over yet. Now, look, that's going to piss off a lot of Kiwis, but that's actually a fact. At some stage we were going to take New Zealand, but I think for some reason they declined. I don't know what that reason was, and I don't know what happened, but it's actually in our constitution to take New Zealand and be the eighth state sort of thing, you know what I mean? Another state of Australia. That's a fact. I'm not making that up. It's actually a fact. Now, apart from that, Australia and New Zealand has really close ties. We take the piss out of each other a lot. Kiwi bros, Cuzzy bros, etc., etc., Aussie wankers, all this sort of stuff. But we are very, very close people. Laughingly, I say, I've never been to New Zealand. A lot of Australians have never been to New Zealand. And a lot of my Kiwi mates go, well, why have you ever been to New Zealand? And I say, well, it's a shithole. It's an absolute shithole. And they get offended. They're like, oh my God, you can't say that about New Zealand. And they say, why do you say that? And I said, well, you're all friggin' living over here in Australia. It must be a shithole. Or London, or anywhere else. Do you know they are the most travelled people in the world, Kiwis? They go everywhere, like bloody locusts. So anyway, look, we have a great relationship with Kiwis. But it seems very, and I mean very odd to me, that an Aussie, I'm saying this as an Australian, would go to New Zealand and blow people away. Look, that kind of apparently this dude was living there, had been living there. And if you've seen any of the video, I haven't watched the video, I've just seen what I've seen on news, etc. I didn't see any dead bodies. I didn't see any, he's shooting madly, bullets flying out everywhere. I still didn't see any dead bodies. I'm sure I know this happened, but the surprising thing is that you don't see any pictures of dead bodies with blankets on it from the news. It's like this total whitewash. But to pick an Aussie to go and do this is trying to fracture the relationship between Australia and New Zealand. If you haven't figured that out, then you need your head read. This wasn't just a random act. This was an Australian who went to New Zealand and did this. Now, I've noticed the news reporting as regards to this incident, and I want to clarify something with all of you around the world who don't know this. There's only 2 countries in the world that have unilateral gun ownership. New Zealand, America. That's it. After this, New Zealand loses its guns. If you got guns in New Zealand, go and bury them, because they're going to come and take them. And it kind of, after I had the interview with Dave Lee about China, etc., I think it's kind of funny that the only country, there's over 4 million guns in New Zealand. There's only 3 million New Zealanders if they're living there. That's how many guns they own. So it kind of amazes me in this world we're living in at the moment, where China's gnawing at the bit to actually take over countries, etc. They want to take New Zealand's guns off them. This is what's called reading between the lines. The second thing is, if any of you have seen the news coverage of Jacinta Ardern in New Zealand walking the streets with a hijab on, you better bet your bottom dollar, or you can bet your bottom dollar, that the new gun laws they bring out will be so draconian, there will be huge uproar. There might even be unrest in the country. Why would a New Zealand Prime Minister think she has to put on a hijab, whatever the fuck it's called, and walk around New Zealand in the open? Look, that one picture tells you everything you need to know. Everything about what's coming and what's going to happen. So much so that 50, maybe 100 years from now, that picture will be used unilaterally to remind people of just where things went wrong. And look, I know she's wearing it out of respect or whatever. That just doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, but that's just bullshit. Just pure and utter bullshit. So, the third thing is, this guy was on no registers, no right-wing registers, nothing, which I guess can happen. But it took the New Zealand police, this guy's using automatic rifle fire, standing on a street, 15 minutes or something to get there. Was it 10 minutes? What did they do? Answered the phone call, put it on the side, went, up, hang on mate, something in the microwave, I'll come back. Look guys, there's a lot of this that just doesn't add up and doesn't make sense to me. And like I said, I'm sure people got shot and killed, but I haven't seen any dead bodies lying on the ground. And even if, I know there's some law you're not allowed to film in the mosque or whatever, well, that's great. I understand that, but where's all these dead bodies they're talking about lying on the ground? I watched the news last night and some bird was saying, guy got shot next to a car there, one got shot on the other side. I have not seen any pictures of that. Not one. So there's a lot going on here, folks. A lot that we just the middle managers of Australia, etc., if you use a different term, just can't comprehend. I just can't get my head around this. Why would an Australian, forget about all the other stuff, why would an Australian go rogue in New Zealand? And as I said, sorry, just going to have a drink of coffee. Isn't it funny how this is, the most despicable act ever? Well, I'm sorry, but what about all the times these Muslims have been running around? You have to have an equilibrium there somewhere. Yeah, sure, they should say this about the mosque, but then they should turn around and say, well, the reason why this guy apparently did this was because of the fact that a bloke went nuts in Manchester and shot up 40 kids at a concert. A guy drove down the French Boulevard in a truck and just wiped out hundreds of people. The list goes on and on and on. Where's the equilibrium in the reporting to say, well, this is what drove this guy to it? And if you're a Muslim, you need to be aware of the fact that you can't keep hiding behind your religious skirts, for want of a better word, and you must start coughing these people up. Or here's the other thing, Parramatta Mosque, the one where the guy got the gun at the mosque, walked out the mosque, shot the policeman, that thing's still going. That mosque is still open. So do you reckon people like this dipshit who decided to kill all these people and others who are like him, don't think he's alone, he's not. And he definitely would have needed help to plan this, by the way. This isn't, I don't know if you realise this, but this wasn't a one-man job. They're going to make it out it was a one-man job, but man, you could not even try it. It would take you years to formulate a plan to do this. So, how come the Parramatta Mosque is still open? How come the Lakemba Mosque is still open? How come they can stand on the steps of the Sydney Opera House and spew vile and bullshit about white people and our religion and our Australia, and none of them got arrested? And, look, the list goes on and on and on. So if you're wondering why people are pissed off, it's because of those facts. And, the obvious other thing is that people are trying to start race wars, etc. Don't fall into that trap, folks. That's bullshit. Look, you know my thoughts on religion. We should get all, and I mean all, the religious men who run all these religions tied to stakes and burn them. The world would be a better place. Just let people go about their own God in their own way. And I'm sorry, but no church, mosque or whatever should have a minaret or a cathedral or anything like that. They should all be flat roofs, brick, brown brick. You want to go there, you go there. No windows. Because my idea about religion is totally different to what a lot of people think it is. Yeah, I say the Lord's Prayer. The reason I say the Lord's Prayer is because it's being ostracised. And it's God's prayer. Simple as that. You might notice I'm not saying Hail Marys, I'm not doing anything else. The only other religious thing I guess I'm doing, which is probably a little bit wrong, I guess, is the Bible gateway verses. But I get lots of comments about the Bible gateway verses saying, please don't stop them because I get a lot out of them. And as I've said to you before, and you must remember this. Anything, I don't give a shit what it is, religion, financial, life-saving, whatever, I don't give a fuck what it is, excuse my language, but anything that's been touched by the hand of man is corrupted, 100%. God knows that. That's why he tells you in the Bible, which they don't put up on Bible verses, etc. either. Is it better for a man to go to church, dress up and go to church and pray, or for a man to pray in a closet on his own? I pray in a closet, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. I just pray to myself, to God, one-on-one. I don't need lectures from a pulpit priest or, whatever the imams or, the freaks do these days. I don't need to listen to that shit, that diatribe. I pray one-on-one to God, and that's why I say the Lord's Prayer. And that's why I do the Bible verses, because if you haven't noticed, you're not allowed to say them anymore. And I say them for that simple reason, folks. Just that one simple reason. That hopefully, just out of that 1 minute segment where I say the prayer, you connect to God, I connect to God, and God connects to us. Simple as that. All right, I'll leave it there. You're not going to believe this. You wait till you see the Bible Gateway verse of today. I don't know whether it reads my words or whatever, but you listen to this. This is amazing. Psalm 23, verse of the day. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. I'll read that again. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. And as always, folks, we'll finish with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Just one final thing, folks. Look, the Dave Lee interview was a really good interview if you actually took the time to listen to it. To the people who actually took the time to listen to it and said that, thank you. To all the people who surprisingly turned around and went, oh, it's shit, I can't hear it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, guys, look, how about a bit of understanding here? It takes a lot of work. If you knew how hard it was to do that interview, I can't use Skype anymore. They've actually banned me off Skype. I'm not shitting you. I can't do video conferencing on Skype anymore. It's gone. The thing's been deleted off my Skype account, believe it or not. So it's just getting harder all the time. And a bit of encouragement from you guys wouldn't hurt. Is that so hard? Dave and I will do the interview. Dave's gone and bought a new microphone to stop his echo. Give us some credit, guys. This takes time to organise and do. I don't get paid for this shit, don't remember. I'm trying to help out. So a little bit of common sense here and there, folks? God bless. Prep out.